Hello. Hi, it's Patricia McNeilly from Chicago. We are coming up to the solstice. This year it's a very exciting one, and there's several reasons it's so exciting. It has been an intense several set of months here, and I, for one, have been looking forward to the complete ending of 2020. It's been a tough year for a lot of people. It's been an intense year. It's a year that has forced a lot of change and growth that I think is fabulous. It's been a long time in coming. But as we look forward to next year of 2021, I want to let you know a few things. This is the ending of a cycle. It's also, in many ways, a brand new beginning. And I hope that you look at it like that. So I'm holding a special event on Sunday, the 20th, sort of on the eve of the solstice, so that it not only brings you hope, what my expectation is that it elevates you and that you feel like you have some confidence for next year. I'm going to be talking about some of the things coming up for next year. I'm going to help you to focus. And one of the things that is been very, very prominent for people is a sense of really being tired and really being, overwhelmed in so many ways. I know this may sound very cliche to a lot of people, but body ascension stuff is vitally important, and it is going to start affecting more segments of the population. In fact, it's already kind of blending in there with, how does that play out? So I'm in the Northern Hemisphere, and we've been feeling this dimming of the light, which happens every year, but it's been especially intense this year for a lot of people. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, for example, in South America, if you're in Australia, if you're in parts of Africa, you're on that other side, you're still going to have a change of season. There are things that are intended to show up that also need change, although, none of these flips actually ever really throw anybody off. That's number one. Please remember that nothing you ever do, it can't somehow be put back on track. Now, there've been a lot of people talking about, this time, and I've been doing this long enough that I remember when 2010 was rolling around. And I mean, like, we were coming up to that, being end of a decade kind of thing. And what did it mean? And literally people thought it was the end of the world. And they based that belief of their mind on the Mayan calendar. The Mayan calendar only predicted the end of certain things. And some of those things are just lost in ancient times as to what was ending. Now, as we come up to the end of the year, there is a sense of natural ending. It always happens every single year. No matter what calendar we follow, there's a feel in the air of something is ending, but it brings the hope of new beginnings. Next year is going to be fabulous in many ways. Next year is going to be times of accountability, no more broken promises. There's going to be just a lot of things that you may not be aware of that will begin to show up. And the best way is not through predictions, not through psychic predictions, but through your body, so that you get the prompts and the guidance that is specific for you. Your body is one big giant crystal resonator. The event that I'm having is not right here. I'm letting you know about the event right now, and some of the topics that I have. So I wrote a little something, and it's quite poetic, I think, for someone who works as a healer. I'm not always a poet, but this actually did come forward from me. So this is what I wrote. A cycle is ending, no regrets. It's time to say goodbye. The solstice will align, and some things must fly. So that's something that, I kind of just put it together as I was feeling it. Some of you may not know me, but I've been doing this work in earnest about 2008. I usually have events locally, at a place, in person. They're always a lot of fun. So let me describe my event that we're having. First of all, like so many things, it is on Zoom. It is accessible via Zoom, but I am setting up a closed, nice and cozy space, a loving, safe space for people. It is not all over the internet. You can join. There is a link on my website at twinflamebody.com. I will be giving you some of the information that you need to know for next year. I will be talking about energies. I will talking about the effects on your body. I will be talking about some of the aspects of what this really is and not some of the things that you may have believed it was, because it's really important to get out of old beliefs, old belief systems, old mentalities. Because in all honesty, I think a lot of people are getting up to here with talk of narcissists. That's been going on like to an extent for, years really. It may feel like it's good to know about it, but where does it leave you? So I want to talk about taking yourself beyond that. We are going to do a special prayer, and we're also going to do a unification meditation. And this is something that, not everyone might be aware of, like, how is it? What happens? I see all kinds of questions out there, okay? The mind will think of questions, but the answers come in different ways. And the best way that I have found is through the body. Your sense and symptoms are felt through the body, but so is love. And that's where you want it to be. You want it to be in the body. You want it to travel through your body. And you want those ripples to go out. And you want the ripples to come to you. So if you're feeling lost about some of this stuff, lost, confused, overwhelmed, discouraged, you're coming to the end of the year and you're looking back over the year and you're saying to yourself, well, hey, I guess maybe, I got through this for a little bit, right? I got through it. I got through this year. Whew. Okay. Next year is going to bring its own challenges. And next year, there will be several events that happen that really make people snap to it with some of this stuff. But it doesn't have to be an abrupt, shoving. I have had times on my own journey where I feel like I'm being shoved through oatmeal, where I'm just slogging through quicksand. And that's never a fun place to be. But again, not only did I get through it, I have come through the entire cycle. So I know it well. When you work with me, you make rapid progress. My event is less about work than it is about a celebration. It's a celebration of coming through some of the really darkest times, the darkest nights, those dark nights of the soul into the light. We're not shoving things into a closet anymore, and nor do we want to, because there's plenty of resources here. There's plenty for people to avail themselves of, but it's starting to open. There's another thing that I have to tell you, love. So once again, if you are being misguided by other people who tell you things like, this isn't about romance, you haven't even started to feel what you're supposed to feel. You felt a smidgen of the things that you are supposed to feel. If someone tells you it's about making more sacrifice and being a martyr, you have only felt a smidgen of what this is supposed to feel like. So, one of the things I have to tell you is that in terms of communities, Twin Flame is a very small community. We're not as big as the gaming community. We're not as big as maybe the general astrology community. We're not as big as the cooking community, but we are important. Hang on. Let's shed a little light, shall we? Out of the dark into the light. So now a lot of you who might have seen me years ago, even that's been an evolution, because just to share a little bit with you, I didn't even know how to operate the camera on my laptop. It was very new to me. I don't mean to sound old-fashioned, but I did 2 videos. I had to ask someone, as we say sometimes, ask a kid, they'll know how to figure out the technology. I did my first 2 videos with the piece of plastic over the lens on the camera. So I look like one of those 1940s glamorous, like movie stars where, you're seeing me through a filter. And boy, did I feel like I had egg on my face, but actually it was a natural mistake. And, I'm not here to be a technology person. I'm a people person. I'm a healer. I'm a teacher. I care about people. I also love to hear people's stories. I love to hear people's stories because they are a love story. Each and every single person has a love story. This is about your own return, not just to oneness, but to a much higher form of love than we've ever been able to embody here. And that's huge. There's an invitation that went out to the universe. You were invited, but you also chose to come. And hence that makes you a chosen one. There's a lot of things that, people don't realize because of what you might call the density of Earth. And I even came to realize stuff about that too. I realized this actually a couple years ago. I was reading an article written by an astronaut who was living on the space station. And the people on the space station have to stay up there for, say, 6 months at a time. They stay for an extended period. And he was communicating how we do now. A lot of us have had to, over the internet with his family while they were sitting down and having a holiday dinner. And this is what was in his article. He said, "It suddenly struck me how nice it is to just be able to sit, to feel Earth's gravity, to rest, and to know that you're going to stay put, and that in staying put, you weren't going to float off. You could actually rest yourself." And that sort of struck me because I thought to myself, as upset as we get at this planet, we do have a blessing in the sense that it does slow us down when we need to. It drags us. And sometimes maybe we need that. Maybe we need to do things the right way and not be so hasty, not be in such a hurry, slow down and smell the roses, take care of ourselves. And that is something that, it might have taken me I kind of knew it, but I didn't know it until I saw it through someone else's eyes who couldn't be here. And lo and behold, here we are all worldwide in this position where we literally have to, Zoom people over, and it's causing a lot of missing. I miss you, and I miss you, and I miss you, and I miss you. We should miss each other, but we've also hurt each other. We've harmed each other. We've done beyond that. So this grand opportunity that's here, that we've been on the cusp of it, is to be new. And not just new, completely reinvented with everything that is you, without diminishing yourself, without sacrificing, without compromise, and back in love. How beautiful is that? And I don't mean just love where it's abstract. That's another thing that I can't stand out there, is that people will, talk about this like it's some abstract random thing. No, it is personal. What's the point unless it's personal? It has to be personal. You have to personally feel it. You have to personally have your experiences. Now, if you have had some experiences, let's say you go to a meditation or you go to some event, and, everyone's not going to have the exact same experience. Just like someone watching a car accident is going to see it from their perspective. They're going to say, well, I saw it from this angle. What happened from this angle was this. No, you deserve your own high-level experiences. And you shall have it, because I know how to open you to create those things so that you yourself keep on going, so that the mundane, banal parts of your daily life, which would otherwise make you want to just, I'm out, you keep going, because that is the promise, that is what you're living for, and there are already people living in it. Now, just because you may be in a form of separation, that is for a reason usually. Sometimes it cannot be perceived as to the actual reason. And I don't tell people, love the perpetrator, forget the no. Can we just get it removed? Can we just, take and remove it? Can we just take the knives out of the back and remove it and just get on with it, please? Okay? Because this is the time that we've been prepping for. Not waiting for, prepping for. And if you check inside you, you're going to know that. You're going to really feel it. That, hey, I'm a lot greater than I may have thought I was. This year of 2020 has opened up a lot of things for people, other opportunities. I've had the wonderful opportunity of helping people start their own business, whether they call it mission, career, it doesn't matter. They started. And that is huge, because those are huge inroads to their self-confidence, their spirit. That is what I help people do. I help you get your spirit, which then helps you create and helps you manifest and helps you with that whole brand new thing. How about them apples? Okay, so, there's so many topics for next year. So please subscribe to me, because I've been doing these videos since 2014. I have 500 videos on YouTube, which is a lot by, certain standards, by gaming standards. I'm not PewDiePie, okay? I don't have 6 million subscribers. I don't know that I ever will. I don't know that I ever want to, because you can feel that. You can feel all eyes upon you. Anyone who has someone that they love who is in the public eye can sometimes feel all eyes are upon you. And I'm the specialist who helps you clear that space. I clear it for myself. What are some of the topics for next year? Oh, families, twin flames with kids, or twin flames expecting to be with kids in a blended family. The special way of working on addictions. Some of the topics, such as breakups and what to do. Some of the other things, healing. So I am a teacher and a healer and a specialist in integrating the brand new template of relationship from 5D. It's brand new. It's not from ancient times. It's not in ancient Sanskrit. It's not in ancient Egypt. Those timelines were for keeping and holding steady. They were the earth keeper places set up specially for exactly this time. So when I say prepping, you've been prepping so many times, and now it's your turn. Now it's not just your turn. This is it. This is it. When I first really were sort of all dawned on me, and I've had experiences from the time that I was really 2 years old that I recall, I couldn't piece it all together. But now that I can, where it really dawned was actually at some point in the 2000s. I was like, all of a sudden, I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold the phone. This is it. This is it. It's finally here. It's finally the time that every single time they said something in church, it's now. It's finally the time that every time you heard something about it's here, it's now. Okay. And that's just how I was raised. Other people have been getting the messages from, their lineage. And so I have evolved, I have grown. I'm capable of helping people. I'm capable of helping a group of people. So I hope that you join my event tomorrow about the solstice. It is very, not only informative, it is going to be very sweet and loving. And that is one of the things that I want people to understand about love, is love can be pushy, but love can also be tender. And many people have forgotten that sweet, tender side, or they've never felt it. But it exists because love exists and you exist. So thanks so much. Come and join. Check it out. Check out my site. I hope to see you, and I'll be back. Bye.